Yo, Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we in the cave. Episode 11, y'all. Salute to my brother, Act Reacher. He couldn't make it this morning. It's all good. Wow. Y'all see the cover. For those of you that know, or don't know, this title right here, this comic book is a little intense. First of all, salute to everybody. Great morning. Happy Friday. And let's have some fun. For those of you that don't know about this comic book, it was only a 3-part series, but it's very intense, as you can see. It's very intense, as you can see. And this actual title in this era where they're making so many movies that are adapted, their adaptation of these comic books. I am surprised that some studios did pick it up, but nothing was made. And in my opinion, I would rather have seen a hardcore animation adaptation to this comic book, because this was groundbreaking. This came out in the 90s, and this was an interesting read, and it was also super violent. So this was right up my alley. So let's do this roll call real quick. Smash the like button, share the video, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian Vett, Mr. Shelton, Mark Wonderland, Aminaz, salute sis. Y'all must have forgot. Steve L. the Mac, Brief the Watcher, Rampage, Tiago Rose, Nicholas Levy, Michael Fleming Jr., Phenomenal Mexican. And absolutely, man, first, I did a short video yesterday before I went to bed. Salute to Akira Toriyama. Died at the age of 68 years old. For those of you that don't know, he had a lot of great work, but one of his famous pieces of work was actually last week's show, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. That is so strange how we were just talking about his body of work. Well, not his body of work. ES, Big Biker, salute. Village Brothers, salute. We was talking about his most popular work, which was Dragon Ball. And there was a few other things that he did that I didn't find out he did until later in life. I'm like, oh man, that was him? Oh man, so this guy had a body of work since the 70s. And this guy is not only a Japanese rock star, like manga rock star. This guy is a superstar because his work went worldwide. And we lost the gem. So, man, that's just we just lost a gem. We lost a god. We lost a god in the industry, man. And hopefully the people that are in charge do right by his work. I don't know how involved he was in writing the new Dragon Ball series and stuff like that. I know he had a hand in that stuff. I think he had a little bit of a hand in Dragon Ball GT. Not all the way. That was like, GT wasn't as good as, I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but Super was better because it brought it back to more or less, I believe he had more creative control in that, you know. So long live Akira Toriyama, and salute to that brother, man. Rest in power. You know, that guy's a legend. Eric Jordan, salute. Young Deezy, Derek Gaines, speaking of legends, what up? So let's get into this. The name of this comic book is called Hard Boiled. And at the time it came out, this was one of the illest things I've ever seen. It was a mini-series. Came out in 1990. All right, I was in high school when this came out. I was like, what is this? I went to, I want to say I went to a comic convention. And I remember Jeff Darrow, he's the artist. And Frank Miller was the writer. Now, if y'all not familiar with Frank Miller did the Dark Knight Returns series. Hope I'm getting that right. But it was a story when Batman disappears, and it's like in like a future. He disappeared, but the reality was he retired because he was getting old. And it was like, oh, the last sighting of Batman, and we haven't seen him in umpteen years, and this was the last sighting of the Batman. And crime just changed. People were changing. There was dudes that were like splicing their genes and were becoming mutants and things like that. So Batman had to come out of retirement. And he had to get some stuff done, but it was a very dark story. It was a very dark story. And Frank Miller, Jamel, what up? Frank Miller wrote that. And he had his hand in this. Yeah, Phenomenal Mexican, as a sidebar, they did a little tribute. There was a scene in Batman Beyond, the animated series. There was a episode where these kids were they were inside this movie theater, and they were telling stories about Batman. And they had several different stories, and one of those stories was a tribute to Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. It was really well done. Really well done. I wish they did a whole movie like that. It was awesome. So it was crazy. It was crazy. So now you have Frank Miller. He you know, first of all, when I saw the cover art to this, that's what made me walk over there. I was at a comic book convention, and I walked over there, and I looked, and I said, what is this? But something else got my attention, and I walked off. But the cover art caught me. I was like, what is this? Right? But there was something else going on, and I left it alone. So then my boy, he actually bought the comic. He called me on the phone. He says, yo, you ever saw Hard Boiled? And I said, nah. So we connected that day, and he was like, yo, look at this. And I'm looking at the cover. I'm like, what the hell's going on this cover? And it was so detailed. It was so detailed. And what Jeff Darrow does is he puts, I don't want to say Easter eggs in his artwork, but it's so detailed that you find yourself looking at the page to make sure you didn't miss anything. Because you'll look at the corner, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that was going on there. It's crazy. And I'm about to show y'all. I'm about to show y'all. Let me remove this. I'm about to show y'all. Okay. It's bugged out, but first let me read this. Hard Boiled is a 3-issue comic book miniseries written by Frank Miller and drawn by Jeff Darrow. It was published by an American company called Dark Horse Comics, 1990, 1992. Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow won the 1991 Eisner Award for Best Writer Artist with this series. Yo, the story follows Carl Seltz, an insurance investigator who discovers he is also a homicidal cyborg tax collector. He's a tax collector who happens to be the last hope of an enslaved robot race. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Homicidal. Which is why when I saw that cover, I was like, what the hell is this? What is going on here? Mansa Musa, salute. I was like, what is this? This is crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. In a dystopian near future Los Angeles, a city tax collector, Nixon, is badly injured during a violent encounter with one of his targets, and he undergoes extensive surgery to survive. Nixon then wakes up in a bedroom, believing his previous experience was a bad dream, and that he is really Carl Seltz, an insurance investigator for the Benevolent Insurance Corporation, with a wife, 2 children, a dog, and a normal life. However, when his persistent dreams disturb his sleep, his wife distracts him with sex, while his children inject him with a sleep-inducing drug, indicating not all is what it seems. Yo, this story's bugged out, man. This story's bugged out. I'm about to show y'all this book if y'all never saw it. Y'all never saw it. Is anyone? Iron Levant, salute, good brother. Let me tighten you up. Philip D in the building. What up? You tighten up my brother Iron Levant. Now look, y'all. Now look. I need you guys to understand something. Okay, if y'all don't like super violence, this comic book is not for you. I'm gonna go through some pages, all right? This is the cover art of the first damn issue. Now I need you to pay attention. He's kicking in the front of this damn he's kicking in the damn this car. And look at the dude on the right hand side. I mean, it's a car that's going at an uncanny, speed. He kicks in the damn car. Dude smashes his head. There's blood everywhere. That gun don't make no damn sense. There's a Swiss Army knife and a handgun attached to it. There's a grenade hanging from that. That's a strap of bullets attached to it. What is he gonna do with that damn thing? He's cut up, blood everywhere, and I looked at that. I said, "What's going on this car, man? Do you see this? Oh my God! My goodness, Reef, exactly. Dark Horse, man. Frank Miller. There was a lot of movement going on in the 90s, and this is why I appreciated this. We just did a show about Heavy Metal, the movie. And Reef, wouldn't you have loved to have seen an adaptation, an animated adaptation of this series? This reminds me of the first story in Heavy Metal, Harry Canyon, with that artwork. I would love to have seen that. Just take the gloves off. This was so bad. Do you know that There's a such thing as rating a film rated X, not because of the pornography in it, but because of the level of violence. And I'm about to show you. When I read this, and mind you, this was in the 90s. This was like, I'm like, oh man, you have to take this comic and put it in the back. Because kids can't buy this. Look at this comic. This is the cover of issue number 1, y'all. So when you open up the book, this is what we see. All right. And this is a doctor. And he has to go into surgery. He has to go into the surgery room to go save somebody. Now, look at the detail on this. These are police officers. All right. All this machinery surrounding them. They have guns and grenades everywhere. This is supposed to be Nike, but it's called Nuke right here. These guys got tattoos on their face. He has blades on an exoskeleton. Look at this. What kind of police officer do you have to be? I don't know what year this is in Los Angeles, but goddamn. There's smoke coming out of the helmet. Are y'all looking at this? Anthony, what up? And this was page 1, and I'm like, what is this? What's happening here? Let's go to page 2. So now he's walking down the hallway talking to this cyborg. Right? And I was just fascinated because y'all know I'm an artist. I was fascinated with the detail behind all of this. I was like, man, this is amazing. And it was an interesting read because you're trying to find out what the hell's going on. So we're introduced to the tax collector, the tax collector, Carl Seltz. All right, aka Nixon. All right. He says, "Come and get it, you bum." Now look at him. Look at him. A graffiti wall. His arm is broke. His fingers are mangled. There's glass in him. Look at the people on the floor that he murked. Look at this. Do y'all see this? Shepherd King, what's good? Now, let me say this. And he's on fire, by the way. Let me say this. The penciling, the inking, the coloring behind this is phenomenal. I think in the 90s we were now at the point where we were using computer programming to color some of this stuff. They like stopped painting and stuff like that. We was now getting into an age of we was in the age of technology. We started using computer. We stopped painting and stuff like that. But I'm looking. This was like the 3rd page, and I'm like, what is going on this book? And I was hooked. Do y'all see this? Look at his hand. Look at the hand holding a gun. He has glass all in his shoulder. And I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on in this damn book. It gets worse. Look at the detail. Now, I need you to pay attention to what's going on here. This is a car with guns in it, and it's shooting. It's shooting at him. Look at the lower left-hand side, how the car just rolled over a person, and there's blood splattered everywhere. Are y'all seeing this? Felix, what's good, brother? Let me tighten up my brother. Are y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? I was like, yo, what the hell is happening? Now, Pete. Now he's getting shot up. I need you to pay attention to the melee around him. All of those people they're unalived. Now, I need you to pay attention to the detail surrounding this. Now, let me stop right here for a second. Stop right here for a second. I had to take a break looking at this. Now, the level, sure will, my brother, salute. The level of detail here, I was so impressed. Now, as an artist, there is a such thing, and Felix is an artist, so he can attest to this. You can start off with something in mind, like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then when it starts to come about exactly how you want it, you get into a zone, and you're like, you know what, I can add this and add this, and next thing you know, you have a work of art better than you thought it was gonna be. And I'm telling you right now, that man, Jeff Darrow, was in a zone this whole damn series. He knew exactly how he wanted this to be. And my God, he caught wreck. He caught wreck on this. This was crazy. Now, mind you, this is issue number 1. This is like page 6. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on in this book, but I'm hooked on it. This car is trying to kill this dude. All right. He gets up off the floor. Now it's flying towards him, and the car has guns on it and is shooting him. Now let me go back to Heavy Metal, the movie. That first story, Harry Canyon. When I picked up this book and I looked in it, it gave me that feel of Harry Canyon. That story took place in a dystopian like New York future. This is Los Angeles. You see the cars have an old school feel, but it's in the future. Cars got guns in them now, right? Wow. Everything is an overdose. Geo James, salute. And I'm like, wow. I would love to see an animated adaptation with the Harry Canyon style animation with this story. It would be phenomenal. Look at this. He's getting shot up. That's right. Come on. I got 3 bullets left. That's, man. I'm like, what is happening in this damn thing? The vehicle hits him. Boom. The vehicle hits him. Boom. Now watch this, y'all. 3 bullets left. Again, look at the bodies. Somehow he did all that. And what's crazy is it's going through a brick wall. All the bricks are drawn to perfection, right? Cracks in the wall. There's graffiti on the wall. Look how this is colored. This was some amazing stuff. The pencils, the inks. This was amazing. Now, I'm going to show y'all this, right? It goes bashing through a wall, right? Now, I need y'all. Okay, this is only, okay. Now, look. Now, look. He busts a shot and shot the driver. He says, bum. He shot the driver, and if you look right here, by the back window, he got him. He shot his brains out the back of the damn car. So he killed him. Now, I need you to pay attention to what's going on. I'm not going to bring, let me see if I can bring it just a little low. Okay, I'm not going to go there because there's something going on at the bottom of this page. All right? There's something going on at the bottom of this page. There's something going on at the bottom of this page. There's something going on at the bottom of this page. All right, and I'm going to describe it. I'm not going to show it. All right, this was a rated R comic book. What's going on at the bottom of the page? This is some sort of. All right. Before I go any further, they for copyright reasons, there's a lot of businesses that we use every day, or advertising, like how they advertise. Like I just showed you the Nike sign, but they put Nuke instead of Nike. All right, the TV Guide logo. We all know how to. If you're a certain age, we all know how the TV Guide logo looks. Remember TV Guide magazine? Right down there, it's there on the bottom left-hand side, but it's called Sex Guide. Now, remember when I said that in this book, Tay D, what's good, man? Yeah, rest in peace to the GOAT, Akira. They like putting little Easter eggs in things. And there's so much going on in this artwork that if you don't pay attention, you'll miss something. And one of the things that I notice is there isn't that much dialogue in this book, which is why the first 6 or 7 pages, you don't know what's going on. You're just fascinated at the level of violence. You're just fascinated. And this page right here, I must have viewed everything on this page for at least an hour. Now, I'm going to put the link of this, because you can view this. You can view this yourself on online. Tay D, salute. Let me put this in the chat. Paste. All 3 issues, and I'm going to pin this. All 3 issues are right here. So when y'all get a chance, go through it and pay attention to detail. On this page in particular, right there at the bottom, I don't know what the hell was. I don't know, but there was some sort of sex game going on there, and if you got it wrong, they cut you to bits with a chainsaw. I'm like, yo, what is going on? What is happening here? What is this? So, and it's very graphic. I didn't want to scroll down too much, you know, but they land on them. Auto destruct system engaged. They land on him. Boom! So he crashes the SEX party. I don't want to leave it there too long. But as you can see, he killed the dude. And now there's some sort of auto destruct thing in the car. Okay? Even right here, look at the detail. There's controls on this car that doesn't make any goddamn sense. He has a camera in front of the car. You can see Nixon's face right here, and it says live right there. 5 seconds of self-destruct. It explodes. Boom. Now he's mangled in barbed wire on top of that. So he got glass, barbed wire. His feet are messed up. Yo, are you looking at this? Kane, what up? And listen, now we're at like page 10, and I'm like, what is going on in this book? Coach, what up? I'm like, what is happening with what is going on here? This is wild. This was wild. What the hell? But again, I'm stuck on this page. I'm like, is he now wrapped in barbed wire? What is happening here? And then they give you a nice close-up. Jeff Dow's good for things like this. Nobody move. My name's Nixon. I'm a tax collector. Barbed wire all in his face, glass in his head. Are you looking at this? Are you looking at this? My God. Yo, you got to take a break when you look at this. I was like, what is that? Now, mind you, y'all, this was 1990. Now, stuff like this is probably second nature to kids. They're like, oh, well, yeah, that's nothing. No, understand. I came up different. You know, our parents did things like, I don't know, try and keep us away from the sex and violence. Now, I was a teenager when this came out, but still, this was groundbreaking. And this is groundbreaking right now, which is why now would be the perfect time to make, I think, to make a movie back then, an animated film back then would have been better. Now, we're so used to this level of violence that it won't really do anything. But I still would like to see an animated adaptation of this. Unique Dawn, salute, sis. I would still love to see an animated adaptation of this, because this is incredible. This is incredible. The detail. Let's go to the next page. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on, but before I scroll down, look at this damn page. This doctor that fixes him, he says, no body count yet, but it's in 3 digits for sure. Cleanup crew is on it. Payments into the police commissioner. The repair team has our boy. Now, I want you to look what's going on. Do y'all see up there? Look on the upper right-hand side. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the technology that's drawn here. Nothing makes sense, but it's a comic book, so it makes sense. But you're trying to figure out what is going on here. I see Pepsi, Coca-Cola. They don't really say Pepsi. They don't, because, you know, for rights purposes, you just can't. So you see Coca-Cola, you see Pepsi. Now here's the weird part. It's loaded up into this machine. I look and I see packs of Franks and French fries and candy bars. And then I look to the upper right-hand side. I'm like, are those babies? Are those babies? Can I ask what the hell this is? Now, again, I still don't have a story. We're on page like 12 or something. I'm like, what is this? I'm still in shock. I'm sitting down, my jaw's dropped. And then you scroll down. Can I ask what's going on in this picture, man? Somebody tell me. 2024, I don't know what's going on here. But I'm fascinated. I could not put this down. Jimmy Bernard, what up? Mac of the South, Tiago Rose, what up? What is going on here? Is that a fat dude in like a bathtub and some mermaid androids washing him, or what is this? What is this? Tiago says that's Planned Parenthood and McDonald's. Could it be that Jeff Darrow was giving us a glimpse into the future? Jimmy, what up? Was he making was he making a statement, y'all? Was he saying, this was 1990, 91, y'all. Was he saying that, yo, because when you're in the 90s, you thought that 2024 was very far. Now we're here. Was he saying, hey, man, we're going to be consuming, you know, sugar, processed foods. We're going to be out of shape and unhealthy. We're going to need technology to live. It's going to rule our everyday life. We're going to be fat slobs. And it's going to become the norm. And it's going to become the norm. And our babies are going to be products of this tech. Our babies are going to be, we're going to be raising babies. We're going to allow technology to raise our babies. And we're going to be fat slobs. Is that what he was saying? Think about it, man. Think about it. Goddamn 30 years later, it's like, yeah, I get it now. I understand. I understand. But I'm looking at this like, what the hell's going on here? So they send some team to go resurrect Nixon. Now, mind you, you don't know what's going on. I still don't know what's going on. But they go and get him. They go and get him. Now, look, this is LA, y'all. This is the ambulance. Homeless people in the street. You know, this is just, again, even this page, I'm looking like, yo, what the hell? So they take him, they put him in an ambulance, they drug him up. Look at the emphasis on his hand. His hand is mangled with glass in it. Put him to sleep. Right? Now look at this, y'all. Look at this. Do you see what's going on here? Can you make sense of any of this? All this, look at this, man. How did they even draw all of this? Now, watch this, y'all. They have something called pencilers and inkers. If my job was to ink, and this is mailed to me, old school, and I open up the work, and my job is to go over the pencils with inks, I'm pissed off. I'm like, yo, what? It's gonna take me 2 days just to do this one page. But you know what, though? When you love your job and you're not worried about deadlines and things like that, you actually, believe it or not, y'all, it's really not a job because you actually love what you do. When I sit down and I draw, I actually have fun doing what I do. I actually have a lot of fun doing what I do. One second, y'all. Yep. I actually have fun doing what I do, y'all. So it's not work to me, but I'm just saying, when you had a deadline, it becomes a little bit of work. So they're taking him into surgery to fix him up. Now, mind you, there's limited dialogue. I don't know what the hell's going on. Now, look at this page, y'all. I'm telling you, Jeff Darrow was making a statement, y'all. Stormy, salute. He's making a statement. Why are medical materials used to repair what we now know is a cyborg? Why is Snickers and M&Ms and Baby Ruths and babies are in there? Look at that. Look at what's in there. He was making a statement. What's in your future? Yeah, I think technology, we're going to rely on technology a little more than we should, and it's going to take over us. It's going to take over our children. And it manifested in his artwork. Can you tell me can you make sense of anything right here? I said, okay, they got candy in the wrappers in there. And are those fetuses? What is this? Now, mind you, there's limited dialogue. I still don't know what the hell's going on in this comic book, but I'm fascinated. Look at that. Look at the picture. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is happening here? Exactly, Kane. Consumerism. He was making a point. Fast forward to 2024. If the internet crashed worldwide for 48 hours, people wouldn't know what to do with themselves. Some motherfuckers get out of bed, the first thing they do is grab their what? Their phone. I turn my shit off. I have a house phone for a reason. If it's an emergency, my house phone rings. And only family and close friends have the house phone number. I turn my phone off. My cell phone, it could wait. I'll see y'all when I get out of bed. If it's an emergency, call the house number. Outside of that, it could wait. First thing I do when I roll out of bed is I bang out 30 push-ups. Then I go shower, shit, and shave. Then I stretch, and then I turn my phone on. There's been times I got out of bed and I forgot to turn the phone on because, you know, as soon as I turn it on, I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I hope everybody's okay. Exactly, Unique Dawn. She said, if the internet crashed, I'm going fishing and bike riding. Yeah. I mean, hell, we could do that now. In other words, I had an entire life. Unique Dawn, Kane, me, Reef, Stormy. We know what it is to exist without a goddamn internet. If the shit crashed for me right now and it said, yo, look, there ain't gonna be no internet for 3 months. Only thing I'm missing is a YouTube check. I'm like, oh, okay. I ain't gonna make no money for 3 months from YouTube, but I have a job. I'm fine. When they get the internet back up, I'll pick up where I left off, I guess. I'm okay. I'm fine. Maybe the kids will go outside and socialize for once. Maybe some of you dudes will look at your girl in the face and say, oh shit, I just noticed you got green eyes. And you're dark skinned. How'd that happen? Oh, they're called contacts. Oh, I never noticed. Because when you're out on dates, y'all are at the dinner table and y'all in your phones. Maybe Jeff Darrow saw shit like this coming. That's the message here. And I get it now, decades later. I'm like, why is this guy drawing babies? Is he like homicidal? Or this is some sick shit. No, he was making a statement. Bad diets. We're relying too much on technology. It's going to consume us, and we're going to rely on technology to raise our kids. Now I get it. 30 years later, I understand it now. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So they fix him up. This is super violent. They're putting new skin on him. So I was like, oh, okay, he's not human, obviously. I thought he was like a metahuman or superhuman. No, he's not human. They peeled his skin, gave him new skin. Look at this. This is even violent. Now, mind you, there's limited dialogue. We're on like page 15. I don't know what's going on. It's just violence. They're removing skin, adding skin, stitches. They're cutting them. They're about to go in his eyeball. Look at this. Look at this. And they, wire him up. This was crazy. I don't know what the hell. I'm like, yo, if you've never seen this book, I put the link in there. All 3 issues are there. I only have issue number 1, hard copy, because I couldn't find issue 2 and 3. I couldn't find it. That shit was sold out everywhere. But I have issue 1, but I couldn't find 2 and 3. Everywhere I went, you just missed it. We had it this morning. It's gone. I'm like, damn, man. This book, I don't know what it is in any other city, but we had actual comic book stores out here at one point. And you literally had to go to the owner of the store and be like, yo, when you getting the new Jim Lee X-Men? I'm like, yo, it's going to be here on Thursday, but I'm telling you right now, we're going to get about 2 boxes, and they're going to be gone. When Jim Lee did the X-Men, I'm going to do a show on Jim Lee. That's one of my favorite artists. When Jim Lee did the X-Men, oh my gosh. You want to talk about selling out? Those things were selling out fast. And I had to ask dude to say, yo, listen, what time do you open? I literally went to the comic book store and I waited for them to open. Ran up and I grabbed, because X-Men 1, when they redid it, he had, I think, 4 different covers. Bought that. And then I found the book that was a fold-out page with all the covers and the bonus stuff that they had in it. I bought that too. Jim Lee got me for hundreds of dollars in the 90s. Hundreds. So I could not find issue number 2 and 3. There's only 3 comics of this. This is the first book, and I don't know what's going on. I'm just watching all of this violence, and I was intrigued. I was like, what is happening? What's going on? What's going on? Now look at this. Can you please make sense of any of this? Notice it's like he's crucified, right? He's crucified. It's a room full of people. There's people back there behind the glass, and he's just standing. He's just there. Looks like they're charging him up and healing him up. What's going on here? I still don't know what's going on here. Obviously, these are some big wigs. They're at some sort of bar. There's drinking, there's smoking, there's crack pipes down here. And they're monitoring this dude. And it's like, what is this? Tay-Tay, future ex-wife, salute. I had no idea what's going on. Y'all have an assignment today. I just gave y'all the link. It's pinned at the top. All 3 issues. Read this at your own leisure. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna read what the story's about, because I didn't know. There's limited dialogue on here. Look, now they're giving him votes. My name is Nixon. I'm a tax collect. Now he's stuttering. So now they goofing with his brain. And then he wakes up. Like it's a bad dream. The kids are in the room. Go back to bed. Right? Now, on this page, it gives you the backstory on how he got into that situation that we saw in the beginning of the book. So he's sleeping. He's fighting with a guy. Some dude comes up with a gun. He shoots him, kills him, shoots this dude in the gonads right here. The dude he was tussling with, he shot him in the balls. He ran up and put a gun in this dude's head. Dude shot him with the shotgun, but then he peels his cap, kills him. He's spraying everybody. Someone threw a grenade into the room, blew him up, and then that's how he got all mangled up. But his wife sees that he can't sleep because he's remembering what happened to him. So she starts undressing, and he got the draws. Now, I can't leave it here for obvious reasons because it's YouTube. So let me just go past that real quick. All right. Let me read to you what the book was about, because I got nothing from the first issue other than, okay, he's an android, he's a robot or some shit. And I got the backstory about how he got goofed off from the beginning of the book. But what is this about? All right. Now, after the book, well, after the first issue, right, it says the next day Carl heads out to pursue a delinquent account. Talking to himself the whole way, his ramblings reveal increasingly large inconsistencies in his own memory. So this is the basic, the hero don't know who he is or really what's going on, because they keep messing with his brain. All right. He starts referring to himself as different names. He is distracted when his target's vehicle appears on his car scanner, right? And he sets out a pursuit after a high-speed chase through the city. Both cars end up destroyed, of course. And Carl continues pursuing the targets, an old woman and a young girl on foot. Now, this was issue number 2. The old woman, she was a cyborg, yo. Right? As the two parties battle each other, the old woman is injured and revealed to be a robot. All right, which Carl seemingly destroys with a large grenade, just as the police converge in the area. The resultant explosion blows Carl into a supermarket, where he finds that the flesh of his hands and face have been torn away, revealing robotic parts like those of the old woman. So he finds out that he's a cyborg of sorts, and that's in the second issue. All right, he's having some dream right here, and this is the end of the book where he's going in. He's going to get into that nonsense with that old woman. Now, listen, y'all. This book, it's a recommended read. All right, I'm not gonna show y'all the second issue. Second issue, he finds that old woman, and she's a delinquent. She's delinquent in her taxes, I guess. And his name is no longer Nixon; it's Carl Seltz. And then, like I said, it's not a long read. It's not a lot of dialogue. But that first issue was to shock you, and it had me. It kept me wanting to come back for more. I was like, "What is going on in this book? What's happening? Oh, what is this? What's happening?" In that book, the first issue, if I didn't read that to you, the first issue, it told you nothing. You're lost for the first issue. But you know what? You know what's good for a comic book? Same thing that's good for your favorite show. It's called replay value. Replay value. Replay value. I still go back and look at the art. I know on your screen, some of y'all are listening on your phone or whatever. But dig this here, man. I need you to understand something. Replay value is everything. Everybody has their favorite show, favorite book that you read, favorite comic book, artwork that you go by. You probably got paintings in your house that you walk by and it's hung up because you like it. You love it. I need you to understand that Hard Boiled, written by Frank Miller, artwork by Jeff Darrow, was groundbreaking. This came out in the 90s, y'all. Some of y'all wasn't born when this came out. And for the time, this was different. I've never seen anything like this. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about the book. I want you to go read it for yourself. I put the link at the top. They said video game. An arcade shoot 'em up video game was released in 1997 for the PlayStation, developed and published by a French company called Cyro Interactive. I didn't know that. Let me see. Let's go to good old YouTube. Hard Boiled video game. No. Okay, they're talking about Hard Boiled. Let me. Okay, there's a Hard Boiled movie, but that's John Woo and Chow Yun Fat. Here it is. Hard Boiled, the Dark Horse comic adaptation. Let me see how this looks, because I never seen this. Okay. Frank Miller. And okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, I do remember this. It's not even in English. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is hard on the eyes, y'all. I'm not even gonna try and I'm not even gonna try and show y'all. It's a shoot 'em up. Okay. Now I remember. Now I remember. Okay. This was hard on the eyes, y'all. This was hard on the eyes. Um, it wasn't. I would rather have had a third person situation where he's actually hand to hand combat. This was him just riding around in his car shooting shit. Um, yeah, Reef, it did. It won the Eisner Award. It sure did. I said that earlier. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. But Hard Boiled, the martial arts shoot 'em up movie, that was John Woo and Chow Yun Fat. Hard Boiled, the video game. There's a video game based off of the comic book. I was just looking at it. It's on YouTube, and that's probably why I didn't purchase it, because it really didn't. They had some rock music in it or whatever, but I really wasn't interested. But let me scroll down here. Okay, the film 2001. Variety reported that Warner Brothers was in negotiation with Miller and Darrow to adapt the comic book into a film. David Fincher set to direct and Nicolas Cage to star. Okay. The website Comics to Film stated that Cage informed Cinescape magazine that he was working to produce the film under his company, Saturn Films. In 2008, Miller stated that he would be directing the film version. In 2013, Vehicle 19 director Mukunda Michael Duwill stated that he would be directing the film version. In 2016, Deadline reports that Warner Brothers are working on acquiring the rights to Hard Boiled with Ben Wheatley, and is looking to reteam with his high-rise star Todd Hiddleston. All of this, we're gonna do it. We never got it. Now, back in 2001, I would have appreciated it then. But I think Nicolas Cage or whatever, I think we would have gotten a watered down version of what we saw in the comic book. See, what I like is I like adaptations that are close to the comic book as possible. Don't add anything. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. There's a reason why these things become cult classics. There's a reason why people love these things. And when you try and Hollywood it out, even putting Nicolas Cage in this, not to say he's a bad actor, but that's a bit of a reach. That's a bit of a reach, because when these certain actors, when you see them, you relate to them doing certain things. In this comic book, although these actors, this is their job, and an actor's job is to transform on the screen and play different roles, and they make you, their job is to make you believe that they are who they are for this film. Prime example, when you first heard, I know when I first heard that what's his name was going to be Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, I said, man, come on, Ben Affleck. I didn't like it when he was announced as Daredevil in that god awful film. But guess what? In those Justice League movies, he pulled it off. He pulled it off. I tolerated it. I said, man, he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad at all. I was like, man, I was impressed. But when I read it at first, I was like, how? Come on, man. Him? But they're actors for a reason. These guys are professionals. Sometimes it's hit or miss or whatever, but he pulled it off. And I said, you know what? I actually enjoyed it. Maybe I was salty at the Daredevil movie overall. Maybe I was salty at that. because I did not like that film. And it had nothing to do with his acting. It had everything to do with it seemed like a rushed project. It's like let's just make a Daredevil film to capitalize off of this superhero boom. That's what it was. The Elektra film. It was just it was rushed, and no, it wasn't genuine. So I didn't appreciate it. So I'm like, Ben Affleck as mother effing, you know? I was like, nah. Will Smith pulled it off in Suicide Squad. He pulled it off. I said, man, I believed it. Okay. 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 All right. So Nicolas Cage as Nixon or Carl Seltz in Hard Boiled, I don't know. I don't know what could have been. Maybe he could have pulled it off, but when I first read it, I'm like, I don't know. He almost played Superman. Y'all know that? In fact, in the Flash movie, when they did the different dimensions, you saw Nicolas Cage as Superman. The long-haired Superman. I was like, I don't know if I'd have bought it, but I'd have gave it a shot. I'd have gave it a chance. Yeah. So when you do these adaptations, I like when they pick actors that you really don't know. Or they have to remind you, oh, we got so-and-so. Well, who's that? Oh, he was the third guy that died in Aliens or something back in like 2000. We were like, what? You got to go to Google. Oh, him? Oh, well, he kind of looks like the man. Okay, let's see what he can do. Because all of these other actors, we relate them to somewhere else, and that's our bad. Imagine Eddie Murphy in a serious drama. No jokes being cracked. It's just a drama film, and he's like acting for real. In the back of your mind, you're just waiting for the joke, for him to go, You're waiting for one joke, and it never comes. It's kind of weird. But then you'll be like, well, you know what? He really did pull it off. He pulled it off. Y'all remember, what was the movie that Robin Williams starred in, where he was some sort of murderer or something? It was a serious film. He wore glasses in the film. I think I never watched it all the way through, but it wasn't a comedy at all. Forgot the name of it. But I heard he pulled it off. I didn't watch it all the way through. I said, he's playing some sort of murderer or what? But I heard he pulled it off. They said, yo, it's not a comedy. He's playing some psycho. And I'm like, ooh. And when I saw the picture of him with glasses on, I said, you know, he does kind of look like a psycho. And I always meant to watch it. Queen said it was a good film. Yeah. Okay. I forgot Chris Watt was in the Jigsaw movie. Oh, 1 hour photo. That's what it was. That's what it was. Was he good in that? I heard he pulled it off. It was like shocking. And salute to Robin Williams. The man had problems, man. I ain't see that coming at all, bro. That's why you don't bother people. You don't know what they're going through. Robin Williams, one of the funniest men that I've seen in Hollywood, had problems to the point where he unalived himself. I was like, what is this? Mork and Mindy. My God. Jim Carrey in number 23. I sat through number 23. That was a creepy movie, but there was no jokes in that film. So these guys are actors, man. But my point is, Kane said he was great. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. If I can find it, I'm gonna watch it. But yes, I like to see these adaptations. Get these. You don't have to get these super duper high powered Hollywood actors. Just get some guys who are eager for work that can pull this damn thing off. You don't need. You see, you gotta understand with these stories, these comic book stories. You don't need a big name in Hollywood to pull it off. You know why? We're already the consumer. We're already sold off the idea. You know what we're worried about? And me and Stormy talk about this all the time. We're concerned about, can Hollywood pull it off by staying loyal to the story and maintaining the attention of the fans who made it great in the first damn place. The only reason why Hollywood is looking at it is because you got a bunch of bigwigs saying, well, what's hot now? Well, I don't know if you know or not, but over the last decade, there's been a comic book that flies off the shelves. Oh yeah, I know that book. My son has a couple of shirts with these characters on it. What is that? Oh yeah, well, hey, give me the storyline to that. What is that about? Okay, it's about this group of people and they get powers and okay. But what's the twist to the story? Because it's been done. Superheroes flying and it's been done. What makes this book so special? One of the things are the main character is da 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 da. And then this character does da 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 da, and they fight this force of evil, but the twist is da 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 da. Okay? But what else makes it special? Well, the artist. It's drawn by Todd McFarlane, or it's drawn by Jim Lee, or Will Spatacio, or Eric Larson. And then you find out that this guy's going to comic book conventions and he's getting mobbed. Wow. Well, who wrote it? This person wrote it. Okay, so we got the writers and the artists. Yo, what did y'all think 300 was? Y'all know that was we all know it was a exaggerated version of something that actually happened in Greek history. Right? But by the way, who wrote 300? Who wrote 300, y'all? Frank Miller. Sin City, Frank Miller. Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller. Hard Boiled, Frank Miller. So he was hot in these streets. Nicholas, yeah, go ahead. What's your question, good brother? So what Hollywood does is they find out what's hot. And Frank Miller been hot in these streets all through the 90s. So when they read 300, they were like, we got to adapt that. We got to adapt that. And they did right. They ran out. And, oh, by the way, co-written by Zack Snyder. I ain't got to, come on, man. Co-written by Zack Snyder. Come on, man. So you had Frank Miller and Zack Snyder. Come on, bro. We're talking about the movie now, okay? But Frank Miller did the comic book, bro. Bro, this was crazy, bro. If I have anything backwards, feel free to correct me, because we're all nerds in here, and you know I want to get things as accurate as possible, and I don't know everything. Sometimes I get something backwards. Feel free to correct me. I'm not above that. How many of y'all knew who Gerard Butler was prior to 300? That man got in the best shape of his life for that film. I mean, I heard nationwide, you know, there's a bunch of white men running around there with six packs. I heard women were going to see that film in droves just to watch what was going on that film. It was crazy. But the movie was dope. Nicholas says, real talk, do you think they could pull off a live action Dragon Ball movie or series? Yes, they can. They had already, but it was horrible. But right now is the perfect time to do a mini series. Y'all seen the Avatar series on Netflix? I watched the first episode and I said the first 5 minutes of the first episode is already shitting on the Avatar movie that was in the theaters a few years ago. The first 5 minutes of the first episode is shitting on the entire film that they released in the theaters a few years ago. I'm hooked. I'm gonna watch the rest of it on my days off. Yep. Oh yeah, they did CGI muscles in, but y'all get the premise. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Y'all understand what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the rest of the Avatar series. But so far, the first 5 minutes of the first episode is better than that god awful movie they had. I was like, what the dick is this? So Dragon Ball, with the right now is the time to do it in honor of Akira Toriyama. He worked with a bunch of people that knows his thought process. I say you give them creative control. We have the right CGI, and it can be done. But the key is, and this is what we're talking about, the key is staying loyal to what made it popular. How many times have fans flocked to theaters to see, okay, let's see how they did my favorite comic. How many times we've gone to the theaters and said, hey, this was great. Hey, this was all right. Oh, nah, this was trash. Think about it, y'all. Yeah, the One Piece on Netflix was pretty damn good. It was pretty damn good. I was impressed. I was like, oh, okay, this is good. Your man's name is Monkey D. Luffy. That's like the greatest name. I got jokes for that. Exactly. Dragon Ball, the movie, horrible. The Airbender movie, horrible. And what Hollywood needs to understand is you need to recognize what made it popular. Stop adapting these films and saying, hey, man, you know, if I just throw my little message in there. And y'all know where I'm going with this. When Marvel, they have that Indian woman in there, and I saw her on a panel, and she was like, oh, I love disturbing the establishment. I love disturbing the establishment. Okay, feminist. So now everything that she touches in Marvel is going to have some pro-woman overdose of her personal feminist message is going to be written all over that goddamn product. And what I'm saying is I can do without it. Real talk, that's not me being chauvinist. I don't care for love interests in a lot of films. I could do without that. Just give me a good storyline. I don't care who the hero or heroine is. Give me a good storyline and have the hero prevent the villain from blowing something up. That simple. Give me a few plot twists and I'm good. I could do without the love making and, you know, the kid. Look, I enjoyed the Wonder Woman movie. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the Wonder Woman movie. The fight scenes was epic. I went to see it. And that little Easter egg at the ending, when the original Wonder Woman stopped that pole from falling on that lady, I said, who's that? And they zoomed the camera in on, and I said, oh, that was dope. That was dope. So I'm not a chauvinist. I'm just saying, stop forcing your agenda on me. It's like that with the feminists. It's like that with the broken wrist community. Leave that away. I don't care. Keep that away from me. If you're gonna adapt a comic book or cartoon that I grew up watching or something that I support now, and you're gonna throw some money behind it and say, hey man, it's going Hollywood. Okay, how Hollywood is it going? Are you gonna ruin it? If you're gonna ruin it, man, leave it alone. Leave my product alone. When the first Transformers came out, I was concerned. I said, okay, let's see how my saying was, let's see how bad they fucked up my childhood. And although they got a lot of names wrong, I appreciated what they did. The effort was there. I think the writers should have been more loyal to the original fan base. But guess what? A few movies later, they got it right. It took them a while, but they got it right. The G.I. Joe, I couldn't really tolerate. It was a little annoying, but I wasn't too disappointed. But I said, okay. They did okay. They did okay. Stop ruining shit. Stop trying to add shit and say, you know what? We'll make it better. We'll take the X-Men and they're going to wear spandex leather suits instead of the colorful. No. You should have gave us the color in the first fucking place. You could have pulled it off. You could have pulled it off. But okay. The first X-Men movie, y'all gave it a try. You know, because the CGI phenomenon was badass. And they did the best they could. They did the best they could. And I appreciated it for what it was. Yeah, the Resident Evil movies, to me, it wasn't based off of the damn video game. But they were tolerable because there was such over-the-top bullshit in there. It's like watching the characters from the video game in another setting, in another universe, doing different shit. So I'm like, I need a real adaptation. But the last Resident Evil movie that was in the theaters was bad. They made Leon Kennedy. First of all, that guy was like Spanish. I was like, they took Leon Kennedy and fused him with what's his name from Resident Evil 4 that got killed, the Spanish dude, and made him one idiot because Leon in that movie was an idiot. I'm like, what is this? What am I looking at here? I was sitting in the theater like, and I didn't pay. I didn't think I got free tickets or something. And I was just sitting there like, oh, it was all bad. The key that Hollywood needs to understand. That's why the Avengers film was so groundbreaking. When they got it right, they gave you a proper story. Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk. Little thing about the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is based off of the Bill Bixby Hulk. He had an in-laboratory experiment go wrong, which triggered all of that. In the comic book, it was a bomb that went off, and he saved the character named Rick Jones from eating up all the rays from that bomb. And Banner ate the waves, and he turned into the Hulk like the next day. Rick Jones, yeah, y'all don't even know what that is? Y'all should. He's the instrumental character in the Hulk comic book, and I don't know why Marvel hasn't put him in the book yet, put him on the silver screen yet. There's also a guy named Doc Samson. Where the fuck is he? Back in the day, I said, you know who will make a good Doc Samson? Y'all remember that guy that played Hercules on the TV series, Kevin Sorbo? Back then, I was like, man, just dye his hair green. That's Doc Samson right there. I don't know how he's looking today, but, you know, whatever. I said, I don't know if Lex Luthor could act, but he'd make a great Doc Samson back in the day when he was Diesel. Now he's like 90 pounds now. God bless him. You know who would have made a great Wolverine? I don't know how his acting is, but, you know, if he ain't fly off the hinges and off himself and his family, Chris Benoit. And he's Canadian. He looked like Wolverine. Short little Diesel nigga. I think he could have pulled it off. But, you know, niggas lose their mind. But anyway, it was loosely that Avengers, the Avengers 1 was groundbreaking. Because they was as loyal to the book as possible. They were loyal to the book as possible. And that is what maintained our attention. Beezy, what's good, bro? Good to see you. You got to maintain our attention. Don't start getting a hold of shit and moving shit around, man, because then you lose our interest. And then you wonder why it tanks. And you know what happens? It tanks at the goddamn theaters, and they say, oh, well, you know, I guess it's a bad product. No, you fucked up the product. That's what happened. Yeah, they did call up the Rabid Wolverine at one point. That was sick. Ugh, that was sick. I'm like, yo. When you mess up the product, you lose the fans. When you start trying to add in your simple head agenda, you lose the fans. You know how you maintain the fans and grow your fan base? If you adapt a comic book or a video game, stay loyal to what made it popular. Give the writers and creators creative control and just throw your name on it. Executive producer, you know what that means? That means you just put money in it. Oh, who created Hard Boiled? Frank Miller and Jeff Darrow? Okay, look, I got a budget of 20 mil. I want you guys to pick the actors. I'll have some input on certain things, but you guys please pick the actors. All right? Who do you think will fit on these roles? And I'll take care of the rest. But the guys that ran out and bought your book and made it popular, we want to now bring them to the theaters and create a whole new, because there's people that don't know about this book. And we want people to say, well, what is this? Oh, this is crazy. What's this phenomenon? Because then you got people that just want to be a part of something. What are you doing Friday night? We're going to see Hard Boiled. Yeah? What's that about? Some people will like it. Most will get addicted. Like, there's people that went to go see Avengers that never read. They're like, oh, I know who Captain America and is Spider-Man in this? Oh, no? Oh, but this is the same. Okay, and I'm going to go watch it. And they were amazed. Never read a book in their life, but it was something to do. And they went and they said, you know what? I don't know shit about these characters, but I came in here and I sat down and I understand the plot. And there's going to be a part 2. I'm hooked. They're not hooked on the books. They're hooked on the product on the screen. And now you have a whole new fan base without losing the original fan base that made it popular in the first place. So, yeah, I didn't like Halle Berry's Storm either. She barely had any goddamn lines. Listen, Storm had Angela Bassett written all over it. Storm had Angela Bassett written all over it. I don't know how they fumbled that ball. I don't know how they did that, but whatever. What do I know? She eventually ended up in the MCU, and they recently killed her off in Wakanda Forever. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But if they do a film adaptation of Hard Boiled today, I think it should be animated. I think it should be animated because you could take the gloves off with that. Another great adaptation of the comic book, which is something I'll review here soon, is the Spawn series. That was on HBO. The animated Spawn series. It was perfect. And Todd McFarlane had complete creative control over that. And it was perfect. You can do that with Hard Boiled. You can take those 3 issues and make one mini movie. You can make a 90-minute film. And go back, and if y'all haven't seen it, Heavy Metal the movie, the first story called Harry Canyon. Watch that first story. Oh yeah, Stormy, you're absolutely right with that. And I think that it'll sell. Go watch the Harry Canyon story in Heavy Metal the movie. It's got to be on YouTube. Watch that story. Imagine Hard Boiled. Imagine Hard Boiled. Let me put this up here. Damn it. Damn it. This is the second issue right here. This artwork. Go watch the first story in Heavy Metal. I mean, this has it written all over it. But, you know, the things we do with animation now is insane. And I don't want to see a Japanimation version of this. I mean, that's easy for them. That's easy for them. No, I want to see an American anime, an American animation version of Hard Boiled. I would love this. Hen dog salute. He has a knife hanging out his back, bro. Come on, what's going on here? But the link is in the description. You can read the stories. It's not even a long read. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna get out of here, man. Thank y'all for hanging out me in the cave. Salute to Akira Toriyama, man. You're a legend. You're an absolute rock star. You know what I'm saying? Like and share the video. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get mini monetized by the summer. Where we at? 338 subs. 339 subs. Salute, man. Like and share the video, man. And let's work, man. Let's work, man. And we have fun here. Go subscribe to Comic Cons. Couldn't make it this morning. Yeah. Young Deezy, Invincible on Amazon Prime. Invincible. Wait till we review that, man. That is deep, but that's a perfect comic book to animation adaptation. It's perfect. Don't change anything. Leave it. Just bring it, because a lot of people got short attention spans. They don't want to sit there and read a story, but it's like audiobooks. They don't want to read, but they can listen. They don't want to read, but they want to watch. They're keeping it pure, and I love it. Minimum changes. Yeah, Queen. It wasn't the John Woo movie that we was everyone said that. I was like, no. Hard Boiled, the American comic book by Frank Miller. But I put the link at the top, Queen. Click on that link, right? It's this. All 3 issues are there. Read it and look at the artwork. You're going to be like, what the hell is this? The first issue told me nothing. It was just death, destruction, and melee. I was like, I love this. But what the fuck is going on? Man, but yeah, man. Salute to y'all, man. We'll be back next Friday, Bear Cave. Who knows? Boxing sucks so bad. We might be doing Bear Cave twice a week. We don't know. Pep Talk tonight. We're going to be doing part 3 on Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs. I just said something Chinese to y'all, but if y'all been following me, y'all know what I'm talking about. But salute to everybody in Venmo, Zelda, Cash App. Super Chat's coming soon, man. I love y'all, man, for real, and I love it here. Check out me and Stormy, Nerds on Culture, every Monday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what time it'll be on the West, but, you know, like, subscribe, notifications, you won't miss it. Same thing over here, man. Salute to y'all. I think the General's on. Let's head over there. There's some boxing on today, and I won't be watching it. Y'all let me know what happened, and I'll talk about it. Bronx on deck, and we out the cave.